Inverted Triads, Part 4. Hidden octaves, 6/4 chords on the downbeat versus the upbeat. Of these two examples, which voice leading do you prefer, A or B? And why? If you chose A instead of B, could it be that your ear doesn't like that hidden octave between bass and tenor in B? Notice that the leaping tenor is coupled with a bass moving by a whole tone in the same direction. Just to be clear, hidden octaves between an outer and inner voice are not wrong. But since we are studying the techniques of strict or pure writing, we should avoid hidden octaves as much as possible in the exercises. With that in mind, which of these two examples is better? A or B? Why? If you chose A over B, perhaps it is because you see another hidden octave marked between bass and tenor. Bravo! The tenor leaps up a fourth and bass moves up by a whole tone in the same direction. Again, that hidden octave is not wrong, and even sounds okay. We can avoid hidden octaves between bass and tenor by applying contrary motion between bass and all the upper voices. We've marked the contrary motion in bar 2 to 3 and bar 3 to 4. Now watch and listen. Students should always try to apply strict or pure style where possible. Objective. While it is usually better to retain common tones from chord to chord, it is good to watch for alternatives that allow the upper voices to move in contrary motion to the bass. This will help refine your technique, our goal. Tonic triad of the 6th and 4th, downbeat versus upbeat. These 6/4 triads, second inversions, of the 1 chord occur on the downbeat and precede a root position dominant triad, which then falls to the final tonic chord. Listen. Do you recall what word means fall? Cadence. To be exact, the one on the left is a perfect authentic cadence, and the one on the right is an imperfect authentic cadence. When the soprano does not step to the final tonic note, 1st or 8th scale degree, but to another chord tone, the cadence is said to be imperfect. When the tonic 6/4, the second inversion chord, is on an upbeat or weak beat and does not fall on the downbeat, as shown on the left, the cadential or falling feeling is weak. Listen. When the tonic 6/4, the second inversion, is followed by a chord other than the 5 or dominant triad, as shown in the example on the right, that cadential feeling is even weaker. Listen. There is no feeling of closure when the second inversion chord is not the tonic triad. While following this example, notice that all the 6/4 triads are non-cadential on a weak or upbeat, the unaccented part of the bar. A few precautions are in order regarding second inversion triads. 1. They're not used as often as the root position and first inversion chords. 2. It's not usually good to string together 2 or more 6/4 chords. 3. The 6/4 triad occurs most often as part of the cadence near the end of a musical phrase or exercise. Guidelines. Before starting to work out the upper voice parts of a given bass line, always write in the Roman numerals first. You need to know which scale degrees are in play. In this type of work, not all scale degrees are treated equally. The Roman numerals, combined with the figured bass, which indicates the inversions, plus the key and meter signatures, provide what you need to work out the three upper parts. If you require more help on figuring out which Roman numerals to add to each inversion, post a question. The student should aim to write a soprano line that is as singable as possible, not limited exclusively to stepwise motion. A proper realization of the bass figures is still required, but an occasional skip of a perfect fourth in the soprano will be most welcome. A, on the left, is a bit more interesting than B. Here is A. B. Rather than posting more exercises in video, we suggest that you download and work out a few from the Manual of Harmony listed in the description. The book is in public domain, so as far as we know, the download is free and legal in most countries. Stay in the major mode and do only the easier exercises on pages 49 and 50, listed as number 118A, A, B, C, and D. You do not have to do the minor mode workouts or the more difficult exercises of 118B. One more thing. It is not wrong to double the third of some triads if it helps solve a voice-leading dilemma, as long as it is not the leading tone that is being doubled. That said, sharpen up those pencils. Subscribe to receive the next update, share, post a comment if you have a question or suggestion, and hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Thank you for watching.